and abundance. Because in our society, we happen to use this substance called money. And according to the Bible, the love of money is what? Anybody know? The root of all evil. Or so the Bible tells us in Timothy, 1 Timothy 6, verse 6:10. And certainly, I imagine we can all think of at least one or two people rolling in the dough who we might think this applies to. And we also know that greed is listed as one of the 7 deadly sins. So we have this situation where we get the top 1%, at least in appearance, owning everything there is to own and appearing to rule the world. So where's God in all this? It feels like God might be sleeping on the job to allow this to happen. Well, I can't speak for God. I can only speak for us. Maybe we're the ones sleeping on the job, so to speak. So what the heck do I mean by that? Well, I want to start by talking about money. Because in my humble opinion, we judge and blame money sometimes for the evil that people do with it. So today, money is used to buy politicians, to control the government, to support the military-industrial complex by waging wars that kill innocent people, including children, by investing in development schemes that rape and pillage the environment. And because of all that, many of us tend to poo-poo money. But I'm here to tell you that these things are not money's fault. Money is innocent. It's not to blame for what those in its possession do with it. Okay, so what is it then? Well, yes, it's currency in the form of paper bills, metal coins, bars of gold. It represents value. It's the medium of exchange. It's the way we measure something's worth, rightly or wrongly, so we can exchange it for something of equal value and hopefully not get ripped off. Think about it. If it weren't for money, we'd have to barter. So let's say you make dresses for a living and I raise cats. And true confession, JD, I am a single, childless cat lady. And even more importantly, I happen to vote Democratic, but we're not going to go into politics now. But not because I'm single or a woman or have or don't have a house full of cats. I'd do that if I were a polyamorous, gender fluid person with a house full of Komodo dragons or pit bulls. Or even if I were a man. So how about that? But whatever my gender, if I wanted a new dress because there's cat hair all over my old ones, I'd have to bring you something of equal value. So let's say you just got a kitten, so I can pay you in cat litter. So how many 50-pound bags of cat litter would it take to buy me a new dress? Can you imagine me hauling those 50-pound bags of cat litter every time I go out to shop? Outside of buffing up my arms, it's really not very efficient or practical. So money comes to the rescue. I can sell my cat litter for the coin of the realm and use that to buy the new dress. Hallelujah. So still, though, that doesn't answer the question. It answers how it's used. But what is it? What is it at its essence? Money is a form of energy. It's not the only form of energy. My slinging of sacks of cat litter into my car is a form of energy as well. But energy, in addition to being God in expression, like we all are and everything is a way to get things done. And it is among other things, a way to serve, as we know. So instead of buying votes, strip malls, and guns, money can buy food to feed hungry children, medicine to stop the bleeding, and schools to teach people literacy and life skills. But those of us with these values don't always happen to be in the top 1%. And many of us struggle just to get by, let alone donate to relief organizations. So let's see if we can apply some of our metaphysical principles to money so that we might live more abundantly. And then we'd have more to give. And then we could make more of a difference. Oprah Winfrey says, if you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. So that's an example of the mental perspective that influences how we hold things and what we do about what we hold. So what are some more of these principles? First of all, money is not my source. It may look like it may feel like it, but money is not my source, or yours, or anyone's really. Who or what is our source? And there's a song that it tells the answer to that we sing here a lot. The song says, God is my source, my power. God is my everything. And because we teach, and I do believe this, it's all God. Every experience, the ones we like, the ones we don't like, the ones we label good, the ones we label not so good or bad or ugly, it's all God. Because God is all there is. There is no spot where God is not, including this stain on my cat hair covered dress. And God then is also money. Or more accurately, the essence of money is God. The medium of commerce is holy. But we don't always treat it that way. We say the love of money is the root of all evil. But what if we could flip that? What if we said the money of love is the root of good? You've heard the expression, put your money where your mouth is. I'm saying, let's put our money where our hearts are. How would that change things? If we treated money as a way to express our love, our compassion, and our joy. Well, I know I'm talking to the choir here, so everybody sing along. But do we have songs about abundance in our New Thought canon, besides God is my source? God is source and everything else is resource. So said David Kessler. It's good to remember that. We teach that ours is an abundant universe, that its very nature is abundance. And if that's true, in our oneness with God, that means our nature is abundance as well. And yet we don't always feel that abundance. But let's remember that abundance, like love and peace, and any change we wish to see, begins in consciousness. Reverend Mawata spoke here a few weeks ago, and his motto is, our consciousness makes a difference. And if you go on his website, that's everywhere, and he always says that when he speaks. Our thoughts and our feelings matter, because we know that as within, so without. As humans thinketh, so shall they be, even to the extent of the universe as a virtual outpicturing of what's going on in our hearts and in our minds. Which sounds a little bit woo-woo. Yes, I know, but think about it. If the world around me is a reflection of my state of mood, and I don't like what I see around me, I can do something about that. I can change my mind. Hence, we get to say, change your thinking, change your mind, or change your life. Yeah. But can it really be that simple? Well, if we believe it has to be hard to change things, then yes, it will be hard to change things because the God of the universe has a habit of saying yes to whatever we're saying or thinking. So then it behooves us to pay attention to what we're saying and thinking, because if the answer is yes, then I want to make sure my thoughts and feelings and everything lines up with what I want to have happen. So instead of asking, how come my life sucks? Let's think and pray affirmatively. Rumi said there are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. I say there are millions of ways, probably more, to express my joy, my love, and my abundance. He also said, let the beauty we love be what we do. Right, there are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. That's the whole quote. And these ways don't always cost a lot of dough. If you give me a bowl of fresh raspberries, I feel rich. Let me wrap myself in a soft robe and feel luxurious. Let me out in nature where I can see leaves and trees and know that under the soil, all kinds of life forms are connected to and sustained by an elaborate root system and the mycelium that maintain it. Life is more abundantly fecund than we will ever know. Now, you've heard the story about the beach where there's thousands of starfish washed up on the shore. You've heard that story? So let's say there's a little girl, we'll call her Kathy, and she was throwing them back in the sea as fast as she could so that they might live. And a cynical, and I'm not going to say old white dude because that's a stereotype. So let's say we have a cynical young Gen Xer coming along and asking her why she's doing that. What difference can it possibly make? And you know what Kathy said? It made a difference to that one. So what so what if I can't by myself feed every single hungry child in the Gaza or in the Sudan? What if my $10 only feeds 3 kids? Or my 50 cents only feeds one? And the answer would be the same as the starfish. Let's say it together. It made a difference to that one. And even if it was the only meal they had for that day or for that week, for them it's probably a feast. Of course, if more and more of us join in, we can make a significant impact. In fact, we can create an alternative economy with the way we spend, invest, and donate our money. And a good example of that is when Nancy has her music things and we come and we make contributions, and she makes sure that money goes to feed the hungry, Meals on Wheels, and the shelters and places like that. Education. So we are making a difference by pooling our money, and she's raised thousands of dollars that way. So by putting our money where our hearts are, we may not become rich in a Trumpian way, but we become rich in a godly way, in an abundant way. And I truly believe that good stewards of humanity are blessed by their divinity. So I want to close with a couple of quotes and then end in prayer. Lynn Twist, who wrote a book called The Soul of Money that Rita used to quote a lot, says, abundance is not something we acquire. It's something we tune into. And Marianne Williamson said, the key to abundance is meeting limited circumstances with unlimited thoughts. So let's take that into prayer. Let's together meet whatever circumstances we face with thoughts and feelings and blessings of the unlimited, eternal, infinite amount of divine energy, be that money, Be that love, be that peace, be that joy. Blessing after blessing is ours to know, to feel, to declare, to create, to generate through the combined energy of our hearts, our thoughts, and our words. And we have an infinite amount of heart and thoughts and words. So we can keep generating and generating and generating every time we see or feel something that looks or feels like lack, poverty, scarcity, fear, um, discrimination, injustice. We can respond with our hearts, with our thoughts, with our feelings, with our love, and create a new wave of energy and send that out. And as more and more of us do that, and we can feel it in the, the tide shifting, as Kathy mentioned. The tide is shifting, and we're a part of that shift. And we can be part of the wave that raises all the drops in the sea. We get to know and hold and own and act on that power. And sometimes we're a little modest and a little shy to do that. But we are given that power, that capacity, that energy, and that love for this reason. The world needs us to shine who we are, to shine our light and our love everywhere we can. For this ability, let us not only be empowered to do it and use it, but let us be grateful. Let us together say, thank you. Amen. Ashe. And so it is. Thank you.